The Living Tombstone. You've probably heard of them. You may even like them. Well, they just released a brand new song. Oh, what kind of song? A brand new FNAF song. Yeah. It actually seems to be pretty polarizing though, and I think people might actually hate it. Let's talk about that. If you don't mind, I do have to quickly chat about some people I'm very fond of before we jump into our discussion about the song. This video was made possible by my maximum macro minions: Figment, One Non-Binary Sun, Clash Pigs MK1, Instant Ball, Solar Drill, and Atomic. If you want to become a true macro minion and unlock some exclusive perks of the channel, including early access to videos, custom emoji to use in the chat, the option to get me to react to songs of your choosing, and more, then you see that join button that's on my channel page? Yeah, hit that. So, something I discovered while trying to make this video is that the Living Tombstone are absolutely brutal with the copyright ban hammer for their new song. I reacted to this song live on stream the moment it was released, but the VOD of that stream didn't end up just, getting demonetized. It actually got banned, like worldwide banned. It seems like if you play a second or two of the song, or show like 2 seconds of the music video, that video is getting copyrighted into oblivion. I thought it'd be okay to just trim my reaction right down just to put it in this video, but no, instant copyright claim every single time I try to upload it. However, what I am allowed to show you is my live reaction and my chat's live reaction in the seconds right after the song ended. So let's roll that clip. Okay, and we're done. I'll have it playing in the background in silent. Yeah, I thought the animation was really good. Like the music video itself was great. I don't know, I think the thing with fans is that they tend to expect one thing from a musician, and when that musician does something else, something really quite different like this, and really quite acquired tasty like this, I think a lot of people are gonna trash it. When you think of the Living Tombstone, you don't think of, harsh screamo vocals. Like, you don't think of it. At least their most popular stuff isn't like that at all. Was it bad? No, it wasn't. Was it amazing? I don't think it was amazing, but I think the most interesting thing that instantly pops into my head is that I think this is going to be very polarizing for the Living Tombstone fan base. Now, let's see what my chat had to say about it. Return. So Solar Drill says, title is really good for how I feel about the song. And the title is, it doesn't matter. Trevin Spadafor said, this was the most difficult thing to watch. I couldn't hear the vocals at all. It was like watching an animation with a background noise more than it was an actual song. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Alpha Record says, that's because of the mixing. Yep. Yeah, I do see what GBY4 is saying, like the longer it goes on, the better it sounds to your ears. Kinda. Not loadser, but kinda. Solar Drill says, it should mimic good music instead. Also, we do live streams fairly often on this channel, and they're a fun way for me to chat with you guys directly. So subscribe and turn on notifications if you don't want to miss that. So there are definitely flecks of that classic Living Tombstone sound in there, but if I'm honest, this is a pretty noticeable departure for them. And I do want to be clear, like, that's not automatically a bad thing. I genuinely do like it when artists shake things up, and shaking things up is not bad at all, necessarily by any means. So FNAF music is the thing the Living Tombstone are most known for. And it's interesting, isn't it, that after years of the view counts on their music slowly declining, the FNAF output has actually started to go up. Obviously, they made a lot of FNAF music from 2014 to 2016, but then there was a 6-year drought of FNAF music from these guys, from 2016 to 2022. But since 2022, the FNAF output has gone back up, and it's increasing, like, year by year. If I wanted to be cynical about it, I'd say FNAF music has become a bit of a safety jacket or a life vest for the Living Tombstone. You know, a guaranteed hit of views and engagement to fall back on whenever their original music, you know, quality as that might be, isn't landing with the wider audience and isn't performing very well. And if that's the case, it is a bit of a dangerous move to make your FNAF life vest song sound this different from what people expect. I do respect that, don't get me wrong, but I do think a chunk of the FNAF music fanbase is gonna bounce right off this. The core Living Tombstone fans, you know, the ones who'll give literally anything of theirs a fair shake, are probably going to like this. But the fans who are more in the periphery, you know, who probably only know the FNAF stuff from the Tombstones, I do think they're gonna be put off. Partly because it is just so different, and partly because there are some genuinely Marmite elements in here. You know, you're either gonna love them or you're gonna hate them, with not much in between. That said, outside of my own chat, who are famously hating ass haters, the general reaction online does seem pretty positive. So, you know, what do I know? However, not to, you know, prophesize about something, but I do feel like maybe after the track's been out for a week or two, and once the dust has cleared, I really could see people, like, crawling out of the woodwork going, yeah, I actually didn't like that one, and it was actually kind of mid, guys. I know it's a running joke on this channel at this point that I bring up Playboy Carti in like every single video. But to draw a parallel to Carti, when his album Whole Lotta Red came out, it sounded nothing like what anyone expected from him up until that point. It was such an acquired taste, especially for the time. People hated it initially. It took months before the general consensus started to point in the direction of it actually being loved. And people loved it specifically because it was different. And it took a long time, but it since has become one of the most beloved rap albums of this decade. So maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know, I could really see a similar reaction from people online. You know, it takes them a few weeks, months to warm up to it because it is so different. And they're not used to, you know, the screamo and maybe even the rock and the metal, but then, you know, within a few months, maybe people start to come around on it and going, oh my god, it was so different, they experimented so much, I really respect it. Do you see what I'm saying? Although, you know, again, maybe people are never even in the hating it stage of this cycle, apart from my own chat, who are famously hating ass haters. You know, maybe I'm just being cynical and I'm assuming half the internet secretly hates this when maybe everyone doesn't. Maybe everyone does genuinely really like it from the off. But I think you do get the point I'm making. I really wouldn't be surprised if within a few weeks we saw people saying, yeah, that song was really bad, before within a few months they start saying, yeah, that song was actually pretty good. Anyway, what did I actually think? I'm sure you're asking. So, this song opens with that classic Living Tombstone voice everyone knows. If I was allowed to have included my instant reaction, you would have heard me go, oh, this sounds very Living Tombstone. But then, the rock drums kicked in and I literally said, oh, this doesn't sound very Living Tombstone. And obviously you can't see my live reaction, so you're just gonna have to imagine that I said that, because I did. The chorus of "It Doesn't Matter" is like a genuine earworm, and generally, the way they blend the rock instrumentation with the more electronic touches and accents is done really well, and guitar solos are pretty much always cool. Where it does lose me a bit is the bridge. It goes a lot more heavy metal, you know, screamo vocals and everything, and it just doesn't quite work for me. It feels like it kinda comes out of nowhere, and the screamo itself, you know, let's just say I've heard better screamo vocals in my time. Like, you don't think of it. But then the bridge ends, the chorus kicks back in, and the hype moments and aura come flooding right back. And, you know, honestly, I think maybe they could have just cut the bridge entirely, maybe. So, is it my favorite of the Living Tombstone? No, it's not. But that is an incredibly high bar to clear. At the end of the day though, it doesn't really matter what I think. You know, obviously I'm incredibly influential and everyone stops and listens to whatever I have to say, you know, whenever I open my mouth, of course. But, you know, really, I am just one voice in this. I'm genuinely really curious to see how the wider FNAF community reacts to this one over the first few weeks and months, potentially even years, of its release. But what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. I always like to hear what you guys have to say, but this time, can you tell me your thoughts in the form of a lovely haiku poem, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
And on the note of thanking people, thanks to all of my YouTube channel members for making this video happen, including my medium macro minions, and of course, my maximum macro minions. Figment, One Non-Binary Sun, Clash Pigs MK1, Instant Ball, Solar Drill, and Atomic. You can hit that join button to get a bunch of exclusive perks from my channel, but if you don't want to support me that way, that is of course completely fine. We are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the summer, so that would be a really great way to support me, and of course you would officially join the ranks of the Macro Cosmic Militia. Right, see ya, chump.
You will live a hell of a life.
Like you don't think of it.